News then this evening that the former mayor of Johannesburg, Mpho Phalatse, has succumbed to his injuries after he was involved in a car crash last Monday. Phalatse had been receiving treatment at the Mill Park Hospital in Johannesburg.
Comrade Mpho was admitted at the intensive care unit section of this hospital, where he received maximum medical expert treatment, support and care around the clock for injuries he sustained. He sadly did not respond positively to treatment, and with heavy hearts and deep sorrow, we confirm we lost our beloved Mpho this afternoon, and his passing has deeply pained us. Let me add that he was certified dead at 17:54.
Miley says the family is disappointed that rumors of his death were circulated while he remained in hospital.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Mpho was killed many times before being certified dead by those qualified to do so. And I do not know, neither will I understand why people continued spreading rumors despite us giving them an assurance that Mpho was still alive. It beats me. I do not understand and will never, ever understand. Like I said, it traumatized the family, and it was a very sad and unfortunate happening. I do not wish it upon any other person, and I hope the abuse of social media stops, because you hurt people. You cannot post and repost unverified information. Before posting, stop and ask yourself, is it worth being posted? Has it been verified? Could it be hurtful to somebody else? And unfortunately, those that posted did not stop and ask themselves those questions.
Reaction has been pouring in since the breaking of the news from the region to the province and from opposition parties. Let's get reaction now for the passing of the former mayor. We are joined by the current mayor of the city of Johannesburg, Dr. Mpho Phalatse. Mayor, good evening, and thank you very much for your time and joining us up here on In Focus. It's such a tragic moment in the history of the city. I'm sure as a fellow, what should I say, servant of the residents, greatly impacted by this passing. What is your tribute this evening?
Well, yes, definitely. I think as a city, we've really been through a lot. In the last 5-year term, we buried 2 executive mayors and now 1 former mayor in the new term. If you look at the total number of councillors we buried in the last 5-year term, I think it's about 18. The third one in this term, we're only 5 months into the term. It's a lot. It's a lot for us to deal with as the city council. When things like these happen, you put politics aside. And besides, Mpho was a friend as well. You recall that Jolly D and I were good friends. Mpho was best friends with Jolly D. They were always together. And that's one thing we shared in common, was our love for our common friend. And we felt after his passing that we owe it to him to work together and build our city, and it's something that I really cherished. So I'm really saddened that he's also followed him after such a short space of time.
Yeah. What distinguished him for you as a public representative?
Mpho was a bit different. I mean, he didn't come across as a politician through and through. I think he was more of a businessman. I remember the first real conversation I had with him. He was really talking about the adjustment from business to politics, and I could see that he was really more of a businessman. But one thing about him is he was responsive to the call, whatever the need. I remember after the passing of Jolly D, we talked about him being next in line, and he said, you know what, I'll do it because there's need. And that's who he was. He responded to the need, and he took on the challenge. I mean, it was just a few weeks before elections. And he didn't come back. On the day of my election, he came to me, wished me all the best. He promised me his support, promised me that we would build the city together. He gave me one condition. He said, provided that their wards are also taken care of. And I said, of course, we will serve the whole city. And that's really who he was. He was a person first and a politician second.
Yeah. picking up from your statement, Mayor, I get a sense that, yes, as you call him a friend, he was calling you Bitso because you shared the same name. But more than that, there was also seemingly some kind of a collective approach towards servicing the residents of Johannesburg. Reflect on him as a politician.
Well, you know, as a politician, as you recall, we had a tumultuous start to the term. You'll recall that there was a bit of tension in council, even some physical violence that broke out in council. But thereafter, I really saw a different man. You know, I mean, I still recall our last council meeting where the EFF tried to disrupt council, and it was Mpho that came to me and said, tell the speaker to proceed. Tell the speaker to ignore this disruption. And, you know, we had important reports that we needed approved. And he said, we will support you, but tell the speaker to proceed. And I really valued that. I saw a change. I saw that they'd gotten over the politics. They'd gotten over the loss of the city, and that they now wanted to build. There was really a beautiful relationship starting to form. I mean, we're busy with the budget now, and I'd also said to him, we'll consult your councillors to hear their budget inputs. There was really a beautiful maturity of democracy starting to happen in the council. And I really cherish that, and I hope that we'll be able to see that whoever takes over from him.
Mayor of the City of Johannesburg, Mpho Phalatse, appreciate your time and your reflection with us tonight.